Olivia was the jewel of her family. Tall, beautiful, with glowing chocolate skin and a body that curved gracefully like a river's bend. But in her parents' eyes, her beauty was not just for admiration. It was a ticket to wealth. Papa and Mama Olivia had only one dream: riches. Every evening, they sat in their small, crumbling sitting room, whispering the same desire. "Our daughter must never marry a poor man," her father often said, pounding his palm against the old wooden table. Her mother would nod eagerly. "The gods forbid poverty. Whoever comes for Olivia must be rich enough to change our story." But there was one problem. Olivia's closest companion was Ugo, a poor carpenter from the outskirts of the city. Ugo had strong arms, hardened by years of carving wood. His hands were scarred, his t-shirts were old, and his sandals were worn thin. Yet his heart was rich with kindness, and his eyes carried a sincerity that wealth could never buy. In his quiet moments without work, especially in the evenings, he would sit with Olivia under the mango tree near her stall, telling her ancient stories of the wise elders and the punishments of greed. Those evenings were Olivia's happiness. She laughed freely, and her heart rested in peace beside him. But her parents despised him. "That carpenter," her mother would hiss. "He will never step foot in this house. Olivia must marry a man who will make us rich. Her beauty can never be in vain." Their bond remained a secret flame until the day Nedu arrived. Nedu was no ordinary man, a young billionaire, tall, broad-shouldered, with chocolate skin that seemed untouched by the sun. He drove an exquisite black SUV that gleamed like polished glass, his gorgeous clothing fitting him like it had been stitched by magic. He carried wealth the way an eagle carried the sky with dominance. The day he stopped at Olivia's fruit stall, he bought everything without blinking, and then asked softly, "May I know where you live?" Olivia hesitated, but her mother, who had been nearby, rushed forward with trembling excitement. Yes. She lives just behind this street. Please, you are welcome anytime." That night, the billionaire visited their home. He did not come empty-handed. Bags of rice, bundles of money, and bottles of imported wine filled their room. He promised them 10 million naira every month if Olivia became his wife. He even began building a new house for the family. Papa and Mama Olivia's eyes widened like owls. Their dream had come true, but one person stood in his way: Ugo. The evening of the next day, Nedu visited her fruit stand again. But this time, Ugo was with Olivia in their usual happy mood, discussing. When Nedu alighted from the vehicle, he was uncomfortable with what he saw, the pair sitting so closely and happy. He simply greeted Olivia, who reluctantly responded, and he thereafter hopped into his car and drove away. Ugo asked Olivia who he was, and Olivia narrated how he came to purchase fruit and how her parents had fallen in love with a total stranger. 2 days later, Nedu inquired and received Ugo's address through his servants and drove to his small carpentry shop. He looked around with disdain. The broken planks, the smoky sawdust, the scent of sweat and wood. "Leave Olivia," Nedu said coldly. "I will make you rich. Just name your price." Ugo's eyes firm. "I am not for sale. Olivia and I are bound by promise. Only she can break it. Not you, not money." Nedu's smile darkened into something deadly. He leaned closer and whispered, "Then you will regret it." That night, Ugo's shop went up in flames. Midnight thugs poured petrol and set it ablaze. By morning, the workshop was nothing but ashes. People whispered who was behind it, but no one dared point a finger at Nedu. He was too powerful, and for Ugo, the nightmare was just beginning. Ugo stood helpless before the ashes of his workshop. Years of sweat, every plank, every tool, every memory, gone in one cruel night. His heart burned with grief, but his mind whispered the truth. Nedu was behind it. Still, who would dare accuse a man whose name commanded fear? Olivia wept when she heard. Ugo, what will you do now? He forced a smile through his pain. The gods see everything. I will start again. But Nedu was not finished. Days later, he appeared in Ugo's ruined shop with a false kindness. I have work for you. Build furniture for my gateman. I will pay you well. Ugo hesitated. Deep inside, he felt a trap. Yet hunger pressed on him, and with no shop, no tools, and no savings, the job was his only chance to survive. He accepted. For 2 weeks, he worked tirelessly, shaping wood with borrowed tools. But the day he delivered the furniture, something strange happened. Policemen stormed Nedu's compound. They seized Ugo, accusing him of stealing gold trinkets from the billionaire's storehouse. I stole nothing, Ugo shouted as they dragged him away. This is a setup, but his voice was swallowed by the sirens of the police van. Within hours, Ugo was locked in a dark cell, without trial, without mercy. When the news reached Olivia, her world collapsed. She knew Ugo's heart. He would rather starve than steal. She ran to her parents, tears soaking her face. Papa, Mama, you know Ugo is innocent. Please help him. But her father's face was stone. Innocent or not, he is finished. Think of the life before you. Nedu has promised us wealth. 10 million naira every month. A new house, a new life. Her mother sneered. Do not make us miss this blessing because of a carpenter criminal. Olivia was very shocked. He is not a criminal. Her parents turned deaf ears. Worse still, they paid her friends to whisper lies. Olivia, forget Ugo. He is gone. You will never suffer again if you choose Nedu. The pressure mounted. One evening, her parents summoned elders from both town and village. The living room filled with gray-haired men in flowing wrappers, their walking sticks tapping against the tiled floor. Olivia stood trembling before them. One elder, his voice thick with authority, declared, "Disobedience will not be tolerated. You will marry the billionaire and forget that carpenter thief." Olivia's heart pounded. But Ugo is innocent. Silence! They thundered, striking their walking sticks to the ground in unison. The sound was like a curse. Olivia was angry by their obvious conspiracy and lies they spoke. What angered her most was the spontaneous chorus of their walking sticks as it validated evil. Tears blurred her vision. The pressure was a mountain crushing her chest. Every voice, every hand, every elder demanded the same. Marry the billionaire. Forget the poor man. Alone in her room that night, Olivia clutched the only piece of Ugo she had left. The pendant, etched with a tortoise. A gift from his grandfather. Ugo had once told her, "This tortoise pendant is a cherished gift from my grandfather. I want you to wear it as my gift to you." Now it was her only comfort, glowing faintly under the candlelight. The wedding was fixed. On the day of the ceremony, Olivia's face carried no joy. Her white gown sparkled, but her heart was in chains. Her parents danced. The elders smiled. Nedu's chest swelled with triumph. But in a dark, filthy cell, Ugo still waited, not knowing the woman he loved was being forced into another man's arms. And just as Olivia whispered her vows with trembling lips, far away in that prison, Ugo collapsed to his knees, the same words bursting from both their hearts. The gods of justice, do not sleep. The wedding ended in music and wine, but Olivia's heart was heavy, like a stone. Her parents danced as though riches had already entered their pockets. The elders feasted, praising Nedu's generosity, but Olivia felt like a prisoner, dressed in white. Nedu, drunk on triumph, finally had her. Yet, the night of the marriage revealed a secret his wealth could not cover. When he carried Olivia to the bedroom, his body betrayed him. The moment he tried to touch her, his strength collapsed. His limbs grew weak, his energy failed him, and he fell onto the bed, gasping for breath. "What is this?" he muttered, clutching his chest. Olivia more confused than him. He tried again the next night. This time his body obeyed, but something more terrifying happened. As he leaned closer to kiss Olivia, her face twisted and changed into Ugo's. Nedu screamed and staggered back. "No, no, no." But Olivia's eyes were calm, almost glowing, the tortoise pendant resting on her chest. He had tried to snatch it once, but when his fingers touched it, his hand burned like fire. The pendant was no ordinary trinket. It was a spirit of justice, a silent watcher that punished greed, deceit, and injustice. Night after night, the same horror returned. Each time Nedu approached her, his body failed, or her face turned into Ugo's. His wealth could not silence the terror. Desperate, he called Olivia's parents. They rushed in, expecting more promises of riches. Instead, Nedu's face was pale with fear. "Take your daughter away," he shouted. "I cannot have her. I will not pay you a kobo more. Leave my house." The words struck like thunder. Olivia's parents froze. Their dream had shattered in an instant. They begged, they pleaded, but Nedu slammed the door in their faces. Papa Olivia's shoulders sank. Mama Olivia's eyes filled with bitter tears. For the first time, they tasted the sour fruit of greed. Meanwhile, in the dark cell where Ugo was kept, something stirred. Without warning, he was released. No explanation, no trial. The guards simply opened the gates and shoved him into the street. People heard it. The billionaire had lost interest in his case. When Olivia heard, she ran to him. Tears poured down her cheeks as she touched his scarred hands. Hands that had carved wood for years, and hands that gesticulated while he told stories under the mango tree. "Ugo," she whispered, holding up the pendant. "It protected me. It brought you back." He looked into her eyes and saw the same love, untouched by betrayal. He held her tight. "We promised each other, Olivia, and no wealth, no cell, no elders could break it." News spread everywhere. The billionaire had been disgraced. The poor carpenter had returned, and Olivia had chosen love over wealth. Some mocked her parents. Others praised Olivia's courage. But deep down, everyone knew the truth. That night, under the same mango tree where their bond was born, Olivia and Ugo sat again. He told her another story of tortoise, how it carried wisdom and justice on its back. She smiled, leaning against him, the pendant warm against her chest. For the first time in many moons, Olivia's laughter returned, pure and free, and above them, the stars blinked like witnesses, as if the heavens themselves had stamped the ending with justice. Did Olivia's parents act right? Let us know your thoughts at the comment section. This story is from Motherland Tales. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to hit that subscribe button, like and leave a comment, as we have got some more videos on the way, which we think you are really going to enjoy. Thanks for watching. See you in our next video.